Hey guys, Morgan from Rebellious Reading. We talk about all things books. And today, we're going to be reviewing 5 books that I thought, when I first picked them up, that my imaginary friend Valerie would like. So, for those of you who have seen my multifaceted TBR game videos, allow me to explain. In those videos, I said that they were just characters that I invented in my head. And that is partially true, but I didn't tell you the whole truth, that I actually like to pretend that I'm interacting with these characters, because I didn't want people to call me schizophrenic. You know what? I don't care anymore. If people want to think I'm schizophrenic instead of just a massive daydreamer who still has imaginary friends at the age of 24, that's their business. Save the hate for someone who cares. Anyway, I've decided that I'm going to do 10 reading challenges with each of my imaginary friends. And the first of those challenges that I'll be doing with my imaginary buddy Valerie James is reading 5 books that I thought she would like. So, we'll see how right I am about her taste, and we'll see how close our tastes line up. I'll be presenting her score alongside mine. So, let's review the books I picked for this challenge and see how I like them. These will be reviewed in the order in which I read them, and the first one I read was Wildcat by Rebecca Genshak. This is a hockey romance, and it's between the coach's daughter and a professional hockey player, which is somewhat rare for the sports romance genre. Normally they focus on college sports. So, that was cool, and I thought this one was actually pretty good. There were definitely some sweet moments in here, and I liked all the scenes where they were partying. Those were pretty fun. But I also have to say about this one that some of the decisions the characters made just kind of annoyed me. Like, there's this whole thing where our female main character is ignoring the guy because, well, he basically didn't tell her he was a pro hockey player when they were hooking up, when they first met. And during this whole ordeal, our guy plays all kinds of stupid pranks on her just to get her attention, and yeah, that was kind of obnoxious, not gonna lie. But I will say that I really like that they made our male main character a Backstreet Boys fan. Like, big muscular hockey guy, Backstreet Boys fan. That's kind of adorable, actually. Anyway, this book was a pretty fun time, even though it was also pretty flawed. So, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, and I think Valerie would give it an 8. She likes this kind of stuff a little bit more than I do, so yeah. Second on our list, we have the only one that isn't a romance. This is Ghost by Jason Reynolds. This is a middle grade book about track. And it's part of a 4-book series about each of the new members of the track team. And this one, I know a lot of people love this one, and I do like that this attempts to tackle some serious issues, such as poverty, domestic abuse, stuff like that. And so I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought it handled it pretty well. However, the one problem I have with this book is that there are some seriously illogical moments. Like, there's numerous parts of this where our main character Ghost does a bunch of bad stuff and gets away with it for very unlikely reasons. Like, seriously. if this was like a middle grade fantasy, I might be able to excuse it because it's a fantasy world. Rules are slightly different there. But this is set in our world, so my suspension of disbelief can only go so far. So that annoyed me about this. Overall, it was okay. I'd probably give it a 6, and I know Valerie would give it a 9. She loves this series. And yes, I've already started my second challenge as of recording this, so yeah, I've read at least one other book in the series so far, and you'll see what I think of it when I upload that video. So yeah, Valerie loves this series, but this one was okay. 6 out of 10. This next book is called Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and this is an interesting case. It was hyped up on TikTok for being smut, basically, and while there are some scenes that definitely qualify, I'd also say that there's more to it than that. It deals with some serious issues, such as eating disorders, domestic abuse, and also various mental illnesses. I don't know what mental illness our female main character here has, but she definitely has something since she's seeing a therapist, and yeah. Anyway, this is a hockey/figure skating romance, and both of our characters have dark and troubled pasts. I will say that for about the first half of the book, I did not care for this. Like, I found the dialogue to be really obnoxious. I hated all of our characters. But as I kept reading, it got better and better. And I actually really enjoyed the second half, which surprised me. Like, when I first started this, I was expecting to give it a 2 out of 10. But in the end, the positive and negative qualities balanced out enough for me to give it a 6. And Valerie would give it a 7. This is the one I was the most wrong about with her. I was predicting she'd give all these a 10, but this one got a 7 from her because, like with me, she kind of found some of the characters to be a bit obnoxious. The next book up is Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. This is a football romance, and it also deals with some serious issues, such as drunk driving. Yeah. This one is really good. Like, the characters are both great. I like the feminist message of having a girl on the football team, even if she is just the kicker, which is not the most dangerous position by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, there's again some fun party scenes. And I like that even though the characters do make some pretty dumb decisions, unlike these last few books, they actually feel kind of justified, or at the very least, understandable. Sure, there are some moments where the guy feels a bit too possessive, but in all fairness, that's a problem with pretty much all of these sports romances. And the emotional core combined with the feminist message brings this up to an 8 out of 10. Yeah, this is the first truly great one I've read for this. And Valerie would give it a 9. So she likes it even more, as usual. And finally, we've got The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This one is another hockey romance, and yeah, this one was actually awesome. And once again, it deals with some serious issues. Like, our female character was raped, and our male character has a really abusive father. I mean, the father's in both Icebreaker and the father in Icebreaker was abusive too, I forgot to mention that, but the father in this one is really abusive. Like, he makes the father in Icebreaker look like an absolute saint by comparison. Yeah, that guy's a monster, and he's also portrayed as like this famous hockey player, which, yeah, that's disturbing. Yeah, this might actually be the most emotional book of the bunch. I like that it was able to feel like a fun book one minute and then deal with some serious issues the next without feeling jarring. And I really liked both of our characters, except the guy did come off as kind of unlikable for about the first few chapters, so I had to take some points off for that. But this still got an 8 out of 10. And this is also the only one I was 100% right about Valerie's score with. This is a 10 for her. I asked for book 2 for my birthday in this series, and I've already read it because of the second challenge, so you'll see what I think about it then. So, overall, I have to say I'm enjoying this challenge so far. So far, we've got 2 8 out of 10s, 2 6s, and 1 7, which balances out to a 7 out of 10. And Valerie really enjoyed these. Like, she got a 10, 2 9s, an 8, and a 7. For that, that's like rounds up to a 9 out of 10, actually. Like, so I guess I guessed her taste fairly accurately, even if she didn't give most of them the exact score I thought she would. But, anyway, so far so good. The next challenge in this series is going to be a mini sort of TBR game thing that I have to do in 1 week, which the week is technically over, but I decided to keep going until I got to the end because, come on, it's fun. So, anyway, look out for that. That's my video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Morgan from Rebellious Reading, and I'm out.